Welcome back to Solo Adventures. My name is Livi, and I'm here yet again with another BGG Solitaire PnP contest for 2020. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Shield of the Viking. And this is a game that is somehow a cross between Plinko and Tower Defense. In this game we have to erect barriers and buildings in order to try to stop raiders from coming down to the mountains and attacking our fortress. As usual, if you're not interested in actually watching me play this game, you can feel free to skip to the end. Otherwise, let's venture forth. So here we are set up for another game of Shield of the Viking. So I'll just explain what I have going on here. So first off, you need to have 15 tokens to represent your health points. The game comes with these, but I like using these giant hearts from One Deck Dungeon. You can, of course, use anything you want, or a d20. That works fine, too. We have one marker for the rider's HP, and he'll start at 5. And then we have one marker on the search track, which begins at 0. So we begin this game with 5 Vikings to work with. And this is the rider who is going to be coming down the mountain and coming to attack our fortress. So what we need to do is we need to use our Vikings to build reinforcements and buildings and walls and things to help keep the attacker at bay. So that's ultimately the main thing that we're trying to do. At the end of every round, we'll be able to use one or more of our Vikings to roll on the search track. And what this represents is our Vikings going on a search party to attempt to find where the mountain attackers are living so we can finally defeat them once and for all. So I think I'm just going to get started here. So we get started with 5 Vikings, and each of the buildings or walls has a different cost. So these are trenches, and these can only be built on the mountain spaces. And these cost 1 Viking to build. So I can put him anywhere adjacent to this building. And what this means is that if the rider steps on to the trench from any direction, he will end up coming out at the southern end. So you can kind of direct his movement that way. We can have fighters guilds, which will allow us to train additional Vikings, and these will cost 2 Vikings to build. We have spiked fences, which will take away 1 hit point if the rider hits it. And we have watchtowers, where if we build it here, if the rider goes anywhere in this surrounding area, he will also take 1 point of damage. So if the rider at any point hits any of the buildings, they are removed from the game. So let's just get started here. Alright, I have my first 5 Vikings, and I think I already want to get started on trying to get more Vikings. So I'm going to put these 2 on guard here, and then if this Fighters Guild survives this round, I will get another Viking. So I'll just put it there to remind me. So I have 3 more Vikings. Maybe we should build a tower. So I'm going to put my 3 Vikings here. And in order to help me remember that if the rider goes anywhere near the tower, I'm going to put these clear chips to remind me that he'll take damage. Alright, so there we are. We have our rider at 5 hit points. And now we have to determine where the rider begins. So we roll the red and the green die. We can see that we have 6 for the red and 1 for the green, so that means it is a difference of 5 in favor of the red. So that means that the rider starts on the red 5. Now we roll all the dice. And we put them in order from size. So we have yellow, green, red, and blue. And this determines the pattern that the rider will be going on down the mountain. So yellow, green, red, blue. So he will go yellow, green, red, blue. 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 Yellow, green, red. So he hits the Fighters Guild. So I don't get another Viking next round. This guy is just wasted here. But he does take 1 hit point of damage. Blue, yellow, green, red. So he did make it to our fortress, and he has 4 hit points. So that means that he does 4 damage to us. And that is the end of that round. So let's regroup. Now I can redistribute my Vikings. I'm going to build a Fighters Guild and another Fighters Guild. And I will build a protective wall. Okay. So we reset the rider's health, and we determine his starting position. Red is 6, green is 4, so that means that it is a difference of 2 in favor of red. Rider starts on red 2. So I rolled all 5s, so I'm just going to roll again. So we have 6, 5, 4, 3. Yellow, green, blue, red. 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 Oh wow, I did not protect my fortress very well that time, so I take the full 5 points of damage. Not very good. Only 6 hit points left. But we did get 2 new Vikings this round, so how are we going to distribute them? What I can do is I can build an armory to make my Vikings stronger. Now this is going to cost me 4 Vikings to build, and I'll go... But now my Vikings each have 1 additional strength. So if the rider hits one of the Vikings, they will take 1 additional damage. And also, at the end of the round, if we roll on the search track, I do get +1 to my search. And there. All right. Starting position. Red 1, green 3. Difference of 2 in favor of green. Four, 3. And now I have 2 2s, so I'm just going to roll these again. 6 and 1. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow. Red, blue. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow, red, blue. Green, yellow. So, oh no, 4 hit points of damage. This is not good. We need to do something about this. Alright, what should we build next then? Let's build another tower. Maybe another guild here. Alright, let's see him break through this. Five green. Blue. Green and red are tied. Yellow is last. Then we have green and red. Blue, green, red, yellow. Blue, green, red, yellow. Blue, green, red, yellow. Blue, green, red, yellow. Blue takes 1 damage. Green, another damage. Red, another damage. Yellow. Blue, green takes out my armory, but takes 1 final damage. So the rider is defeated. And now we have lots of warriors. Okay. I think I want to rebuild that armory. But maybe put it here. Build 1 more Fighters Guild. Okay. Ooh. So difference of 3 in favor of red. These two are the same. Okay, red, blue, green, yellow. Red, blue, green, yellow. Red, blue, green, yellow. Red, blue, green, yellow. So we're in a loop now. So we just take off the last one of the pattern. So red, blue, green. Red, blue, green, yellow. Red, blue, green. Yellow, red, blue, green, yellow. And This kills my Viking, but the rider is defeated. Alright, we have lots and lots of Vikings now. In fact, we can only have a maximum of 12, so we're pretty close to our max. Maybe want to start searching. I'm going to build one more armory. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another Fighters Guild. Another Fighters Guild. And this last guy will go on a search. 2 3s. So that means we just started 0. Yellow, red, blue, green. Yellow, red, blue, green. Yellow, red, blue, green. Yellow, red, blue, green. Yellow. Ooh. So he still takes damage from the tower, but he destroyed it because he hit it directly. Red, blue, green, yellow, red, blue, green, yellow, and this actually, however, my Viking gets to stay here because now my Viking has 2 strength and the rider had 1 hit point, so the Viking survives actually. So he's okay. And now we roll for search. We have 2 armories, so we can add 2 to the outcome, so 5, 6, 7. Already at 7, not bad. But we automatically lose this guy. Okay. Want to really protect this here. Let's go crazy. Let's search with 4 Vikings. Next round. So, starting position. Difference of 3. Yellow, green, blue, red. Blue, green, blue, red, yellow, green, blue, red, yellow, green, blue, red, yellow, green, blue, red. Takes 2 damage that time. Oh, and he also took 1 damage for hitting my Fighters Guild. Yellow, He had 2 hit points. My Viking has 3 hit points, however. So I guess the Viking survives. Because I have 2 armories here. So we're okay. We have 4 Vikings and a +2 for our search each time. So we have 9, 10, 11, 12, +8, so that's 20. So we're at 27. We're almost at the end, so not bad. But all of these guys died. Sorry. All right, so we're so close. And these guys I will just set up with some pretty strong reinforcements. Okay, the rider begins. 3, 5. Two doubles in a row. 3 doubles in a row. This is amazing. So, yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow, green, blue, red. Yellow. Green. Blue. Yeah, we're okay. And so now we just need to roll on search. 5 + 2. We made it up the mountain and we defeated our enemy. So that was Shield of the Viking. What did I think about this? Let's talk about it. So Shield of the Viking was a little intimidating looking when I first saw it because the examples that I had seen beforehand involved kind of 3-dimensional terrain. You don't actually have to do that, as I didn't. I think if I had more time I would have liked to make my terrain a bit more 3D, but it's perfectly fine to just use them as tokens. What I do recommend, and also what the designer recommends, is that you replace the Viking and the Rider tokens with something else, cubes or meeples or something, just because it's really hard to pick up the little flat tokens and manipulate them. So all in all, this build was a little bit large-ish. It's definitely not the biggest that I've done in the contest so far, but it does take a little time, especially with all of the buildings that you have to cut out. It's quite easy to make it... Oh, hi Strudel. Strudel's come to say hello. It's really nice and easy to make it into a folding game board because it is made up of 4 equal size panels, so that makes it very easy to just tape them together and leave one side between them, not taped together, so you have kind of like, you know, how board game boards fold. As for the defense tokens, there are lots of little ones that come in the files, but they're a little bit fiddly and hard to move around, so I suggest pretty much using anything that you have on hand. In my case, I used little heart tokens from One Deck Dungeon, but you can use anything, cubes or of course a d20. The instructions are really nice, they're laid out really well, and everything is extremely clear and easy to learn. Really no problems there. It's illustrated and has lots of examples of play, which is something that I always like to see in manuals. And there she goes again. The only thing that's a bit weird about the manual is that apparently at one point this game was called the 13th Viking and not the Shield of the Viking, because that is what the manual still says the name of this game is the 13th Viking. I kind of am intrigued by this because the maximum number of Vikings that you can have in this game is 12, so who is the 13th Viking? Alright, so what did I like about this game? Okay, where do I even get started? I like the theme first off. I really like the idea of Vikings. I think that we could use more games with Viking themes. I know they're becoming more popular in recent years, but I still think that the theme hasn't been done to death yet, and so keep them coming. I'm also just personally a really big fan of tower defense video games, and I liked how this game kind of felt like that. It also has a really unique system with the whole plinko type movement of the rider moving from the top to the bottom. It's really unpredictable and really interesting and fun, and you're never quite sure where the rider is going to end up. Though the movement of the rider is basically random to some extent, I really like how you can try to funnel the rider in one specific direction using the trenches. Now, I didn't really use trenches so much in my playthrough just now, but I do think it's really cool and really clever that you can kind of line things up and you can sort of try to direct the rider the way you want him to go, hopefully between maybe some towers or straight into some spiky walls. I really like the decisions that you have to make in this game. On any given turn you have to decide between making more fighters guilds so you can get more Vikings, or if you want to invest the Vikings into making armories or watchtowers, and how many guys can you afford to send out on a search party. I think it's a little bit morbid that every Viking you send out on a search party does not come back alive, but I guess brutality fits the theme alright. I also like the difficulty. Now, I think that I'm beginning to get this game figured out and I can win somewhat reliably most of the time on normal mode, but the nice thing is that it's pretty easy to make it harder. You just have to increase the hit points of the rider, or tweak things in that respect, or make it more expensive to build buildings. You have to place more Vikings, for example. It would be kind of nice if these were already part of the instructions, if the designer had already included different difficulty levels, so I don't really have to homebrew it myself, but I mean, it's not really a problem. I guess I just like to feel validated that I beat the game on like super hard mode or something. So what's not so great about this game? First off, I would have to say the build is of course going to be an obstacle for some people. It definitely takes a little longer to do this, and in my opinion this game is going to be really not that fun to play unless you have actual three-dimensional meeples or pawns or something to be the rider, and at least cubes or something to be the Vikings. I also think that this game really benefits from having 4 dice that are the correct color. I mean, you could use any 4d6s that are just different colors, but I think that it would maybe be hard sometimes to remember which one is supposed to represent which color. So just make it easier for yourself and try to get one blue, green, yellow, and red. Something that's kind of a toss-up about this game is, of course, there's the element of luck, where sometimes I feel like the rider is very intelligently choosing a path that goes straight around the defense towers and then goes right into the armory that I really don't want it to go into. I think that's really just part of the fun, though. You're going to have some runs that are easier than others because of this luck aspect, but I don't really know how you could get around it. And really, I'm not opposed to luck. I think it's fun in a game like this. And that's what my final verdict is going to be. This game is just fun. It feels like a toy. It feels really fun to play with. I love just the kind of ping-ponging back and forth of this rider as it goes down, and positioning my little Vikings and building up my defenses. This game is just fun. And I think that it's really worth your time. So yeah, I really love this game. I think it is a ton of fun, and I wish I had more time to play it right now. I really don't, because I have so many more games to be playtesting for this contest, but I know for a fact I will be coming back to this game after the contest is over. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I do here, please hit subscribe. Once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I am going to release a video revealing all of my secrets for how I make my cards, tokens, and game boards. If you want to help support the channel and keep my printer nice and stocked with ink and cardstock, feel free to check out my Patreon in the description. Of course, you can always take a look at the Facebook group for solo adventurers if you're interested in talking about solo games and game-like experiences with other solo gamers like yourself. And we will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.